Welcome back to Collectible Strategy. In this video, I want to discuss a card that I've been accumulating for the past 2 or 3 weeks, and it's something that I feel like a lot of people are not aware of. This right here, this is the Riftbound Chunk promo recruit and buff. Alright, so this card is both on the front a promo card recruit of the Chunk character from TFT. This is it's essentially a baby dragon, like the Earth Dragon or Ocean Dragon in League of Legends. They created this character as one of the little legends, they call it, in TFT that you can move around and play that game. So they took that character and they made it into a 1 white recruit, and on the back they took the art, the skins from, I believe, set 15 of TFT. Right, you got Lisa in here, Molly Beer here, Seraphine, I think this is Ezreal, and they made this into a buff. Now, what's unique about this card is that, well, first of all, it's being slept on. Not a lot of people are talking about it. The price is quite low. Yeah, so I was looking at this card at around $10 to $15, and now there's a couple, there's a decent supply of this card. It's estimated that it's anywhere from 15,000 to 35,000. What I did is I had Fable AI scrape and look through all the Chinese forums to discuss how this card was distributed. It was distributed in Chengdu of 2025, in November of last year, during the World's Final. And from what I gather, based on the research that the AI provided me, and some personal research as well, asking all the vendors who are selling the card, this card was given to people who came to the event, not the main stadium, which had 18,000 people, but one of the side events that was spread around the streets. And they had to do something to get stamps. And once you had 2 or 3 stamps, you completed your card, you were able to redeem it for the Chunk card. So there's anywhere between like 15 to 35,000 of these. It's an estimation, right? Nobody knows for sure, but what I'm pretty positive about is that they're not going to print more of this, as this is an old promo from almost a year ago. Now, what's unique about this card is that, based on my research, I believe this is the first recruit promo token. Now, there were recruit tokens that came before this, primarily the token that comes in the trial Victor deck, with the sample written over it. So yeah, that's first. But that's not a promo card. If you look at the bottom of that card, it doesn't have the same little promo thing that all the promo cards have right over here, right? Which you can see on the front and the back. So to the best of my knowledge, this is in fact the first promo card. Not only is it the first promo recruit card, but I think this is also the first TFT card ever. I was trying to look to see if there's been any other form of card. I mean, there's been merchandise for TFT. There's been like little collectible figurines for the little legends that you could buy in the past. But from what I gathered, this is the first TFT promo card. And as a little bonus, it's the first dual purpose token promo, meaning that it has the recruit and the buff. There was another promo that came around the same time as this, called the Riot Fist Bump promo, which is a promo card with the fist bump that Riot employees can hand out to people throughout events. But that card is still ongoing, it's still being printed, and I believe that card is only a buff. Both of the sides are just buffs. What's great about this is that this should mean that this token is tournament legal for essentially the entirety of Riftbound's existence. So it could be 5-10 years down the line, and if you have a card that creates tokens, which, there's always a card that creates tokens, right? We have Seraphim coming up in set 5 that's going to be token based. So you could have the chonk card. You could use that. And the buff too. You could use the buff for any future cards that use buffs. Now, personally, I've been buying a lot of these. It's still very cheap in my opinion. The only issue is I'm not exactly sure what the supply is. This is a huge range, but even then at $10, $15, you can find it at around that price. I mean, it's an interesting collectible to have for sure. And I can say for a fact that not many people know about this. And that's important. When it comes to the plays that I'm making personally, I'm always looking for something that most people don't know about, right? There's no content on this. There's one other guy on Twitter, Riftbound GG, that's talked about this once or twice. But besides that, nobody really ever talks about these. So that's what makes it very interesting for me. My goal is to buy a couple hundred of these and to hold it for a few years and see what happens. Now, what I also noticed Riot doing is that they started creating other promo cards, like this is Chonk Bulb. It's a gold on the front, and I think it's a buff on the back. And this was for another event, I think in 2026. So that's actually a good sign in my opinion, because if they continue to give out these cards at events in China, eventually there'll be like 10 or 20 of them, and people will ask, okay, what was the first one? Right, the first one might have a premium compared to the other ones. The first in the series.